Hello everyone, and welcome back to the world of Dragon Age. The world of Dragon Age is very vast, and still some secrets may have yet to be uncovered. So let's delve into the heart of the deep roads in Karins' workshop, with 5 secrets, details, and things you didn't know about the Anvil of the Void. Starting off, we have some history. Well, every location in Deep Roads in terms of the main quest are all linked to the Anvil's creator, Karins, one way or another. See, Karins was a smith of House Horton. Oh, I guess I covered that part already. Well, starting off, let's go into Brancas Plan here. See, Branca tracked Karins' research down and found the Anvil of the Void. However, by this point, they were well into the Deep Roads, and much of her house had already been killed. The few that remained wanted to go back to Orzammar, however Branca was far too obsessed. The Anvil had complicated traps designed by Karins, and there was no way her current forces could bypass them. So Branca decided a horrible plan. She let her females from the house, even her captain and lover Hespith, be captured by the Darkspawn, so that they could be turned into broodmothers. Now, we already went into how awful the process of being a broodmother is in my last video. She allowed this to happen so the newly birthed Darkspawn would serve as cannon fodder. This was her justification, as the traps were too difficult for her to solve alone. However, her Darkspawn plan didn't even work. The traps require much more intelligence than brute force, and that's why we have to cut down a horde of Darkspawn before we get into the heart of Karins' traps.
I needed people to test Karins' traps. There's no way to break through except by trial and error. I think they were all mine, pledged to be my house, and they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me, even my Hespith. But even she couldn't understand that when you reach for greatness, there are sacrifices, as many sacrifices as are needed. Most of them were dying of the taint already, but some of the women were transforming. I knew what they would become. There would be an endless supply, fresh Darkspawn to test the traps. They could still serve me, let me find the Anvil. It was the only way. You have no idea how they carried on, holding my hand, begging to die. They had pledged me their loyalty. They had no right to fight me. They say your order is renowned for its wits as well as its brawn. Perhaps you'll do better than my poor clansmen. There's something about this place. It makes people disturbed.
For a number 2 slot, did you know you can actually bypass one of the traps with high cunning and sneak? In the second room filled with poison, you have to fight 4 golems while deactivating the poison gas. After you defeat all 4, the door will open. However, if you have high sneak, you can bypass the golems, and with high cunning, you can pick the door to progress without fighting any of the golems. This is likely a bug, as no other door in this area does this, but it may be a fun feature for someone trying to speedrun. For a number 3 slot, let's look at one of the biggest oddities here. No, not our objective, this spinny boy here, the spirit apparatus. This creation is entirely unique to this one part of the game, and no other further game has anything like this. The machine is embedded with lyrium, as well as discharges lyrium frequently. It also has the ability to use this lyrium to summon spirits to fight for the machine. It even has the ability to summon an infinite amount of these spirits as well. It's unclear if this is a unique to Karins, or if the old dwarves use this as well. However, it's important to note that these same spirits also appear in Orton Tig as well. What likely happens is that the dwarves before their downfall used these type of machines to conjure dwarven spirits to help defend important areas such as Tigs and the Anvil. This would explain also a bit of what we went into in our last video about the dark side of the stone with the Genghis. Fade spirits are attracted to lyrium, so it's not entirely implausible that the dwarves knew this and would try to use this to their own advantage. For a number 4 slot, the biggest revelation in this area, despite Branca's own twisted plan, is how golems are made. Golems are made by placing a living being on the anvil, and then through a mix of smithing, lyrium, and blood magic, a golem is made. However, the experience is far more painful than Karins describes to the Warden. If we find his journal in Orton Tig, we can actually see the true horror of this process. Nothing so great may be achieved without sacrifice, nor may stone and steel walk without a spirit to animate them. I have put off saying this, even in these pages, but I must say it now. My golems will be powered by their deaths. These brave warriors come to me, naked as the day when they were born. I dress them in a skin of armor, so large it makes the burliest look no more than a babe. The Anvil is their first and final cradle. We are surrounded by a mile of earth on all sides, and no one hears the screams as I pour molten lyrium through the eye holes, the mouth, every joint and chink in the armor. They silence quickly, but the smell lingers. Just a trace of blood and the greater stench of hot metal. I must work fast. The armor is malleable now, as I shape with a hammer and tongs. It is not long before it moves beneath my hands, writhing and twisting with every blow. It speaks again now, a low moan, but I have learned to tune it out. I can afford no error in this craft. There can be no melted slag binding the eyes, nor an unhewn bit of granite slacking a leg. They groan at my work, but would they rather be broken and crippled? Those I have spoken to me tell of their pain, but could they see themselves, they would see perfection. Having to do this for hundreds of dwarves, some who were even forced into it, is why Karins is so against ever letting his work see the light of day, and it also explains the last word in his text. He likely toned out his own immoral actions because he thought he was doing the right thing, and he thought he was creating a powerful being. It's obsession, and we can see that in the same eyes with Branca. For our fifth and final slot, let's look at all the different options for the Anvil of the Void's fate. In-game, the outcomes are fairly simple. If we help Branca, we get the option in the final battle to summon golems as well as dwarves. However, if we help Karins, we just get the option to summon dwarves. However, the endgame lore effects are much more far-reaching. If we destroy the Anvil, several dwarves from the Smith cast gain word and track it down. They use the remains of the Anvil to create a single golem, bound by a fate spirit. This golem soon snaps and kills many of the Smiths before the research was deemed too dangerous to continue. If the Anvil is secured with King Balaam in power, Balaam at first supports Branca until Branca turns on him. A fight breaks out for control of the Anvil, which Branca actually wins. This causes the Anvil of the Void to become another impenetrable fortress, guarded by golems. If Hermann is king, he at first helps Branca, as he needs troops to kill rebellions from the Carta as well as the Castus. Interestingly enough, this is the one option where Hermann actually lives, as if you don't secure the Anvil, Hermann dies soon after being made king. However, Hermann soon refuses to provide any more dwarves, which causes Branca to make surface raids, capturing human and elves as well. This of course doesn't go over well with the Ferelden kingdom, and a short war breaks out which causes Orzammar to be even more isolated. All of these options comes with sacrifice, and it's up to you to decide how much is worth it. Is the Anvil power enough to stop the Blight and reclaim the Orzammar kingdom? Is that power enough to overlook the horrors that it might inflict? The choice is yours. Thank you all so much for watching. With that, we have covered everything in the main quest of Orzammar. We only have one era remaining, continuing the story of Shale with her origins in Kadash Taig. Thank you all, and I will catch you all next time.